Audio. Hey, there's my mic. I cannot believe that. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've been chatting with myself for over an hour, and I didn't know that you couldn't hear me, and that makes me really sad. No. So I'm glad that you can hear me now, and I am so sorry about that. I feel like I have to restart. I cannot believe that. Well, thank you for the heads up. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to just go ahead and give you a rundown, because I have friends here now. So, we have this really beautiful golden-reined digger wasp, and you mentioned, very good, that it's in the family Sphaecidae. Now, funny enough, all of these specimens in the family Sphaecid, they have what we call a pronotal lobe. This little lobe guy right here, you can see it's really distinct right here. Every single Sphaecid is going to have that lobe. Now, back in the day when I was learning Sphaecidae, everything that had this lobe was a Sphaecid. Nowadays, there's another family that has them called the Crabronidae, and that's because the Crabronidae were kind of taken out of the Sphaecid family, and they created their own family. So now we have the Sphaecids, which are the thread-waisted wasps, and the Crabronids, which are normally the digger wasps and the sand wasps. But there are a handful that kind of slip through the cracks, like this guy here is considered a digger wasp, even though it is in the thread-waisted wasp family. And that's just because it got messy when they separated them. Now, I know we really like taxonomy, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you this really quick. For the subfamily, they are in the subfamily Sphaecinae, I-N-A-E, because all insects with the subfamily are N-A-E. And then, if you want to go one further, insects have what we call tribes. It's between the subfamily and the genus. And all of the tribes end in I-N-I. So this guy is in the tribe Sphaecinae. And then, if you want to take it one further, the genus is Sphex. And that's how you can watch the genus name go all the way up to a family. The first specimen ever identified in this family was in the genus Sphex. So, they said Sphex, Sphaecinae, Sphaecinae, Sphaecidae. And then you get it, Sphaecidae. So, our species here, if you are curious to write it down, is Sphex habenis. And this one is a male. I will have to next, I should make sure that my little sound bars are checking. Next time I'm going to make sure of that. I don't know what caused it, but I unplugged my mic and I replugged it back in and it worked. So, I guess sometimes you just have to unplug things and replug them back in. So I'm just taking a peek at our middle leg here. I'm looking right at the base of the middle leg, right around here. This is the coxa. And then you've got the femur coming out towards us. The femur, the tibia kind of going away from us here, and that's where all these spines are coming off. And we have a 5-segmented tarsi on the middle leg. So why is this like this? I don't think that there is a parasitoid in there, but I could turn the specimen a little bit to take a look. I guess it is possible. That would be really cool. But we're gonna get these legs taken care of, and then we'll be able to go and really check out the abdomen. So let's see. We've got, oh man. All right. So we have this hind leg here. And our hind legs, the femur and the tibia, they're not very long. They're pretty wide. So we've got this femur coming out. The tibia is going to start kind of narrow and then widen out a little bit. Not that wide. And then our tarsal segments, I'm going to let them fall down into the left. I was hoping to be able to scooch our specimen around so that we could see the tarsal formula, at least for the middle legs, a little better. Here. There we go. That's actually a pretty good view of, this is actually a pretty good view of our tarsal segments for the middle leg. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We can see these better. This is our first one right here. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see has these kind of 2 arches. Sometimes I call these kind of heart-shaped, but the middle of this one is even wider than a lot of the heart-shaped ones. So that's 4. And this is 5 with those 2 tarsal claws. Lots of tibial spines, right? I love a good spiky tibia. And you know what? When we're going to go back and zoom in on the front legs tibia because there is something really crazy happening. There's like a comb on the end of the tibia. It's really cool. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2. And these little flowery petal looking guys, I do believe they are flower petals. These wasps will go and they feed on nectar from flowers. And if you look at other specimens of this species, that's not a characteristic that they have. They don't have these like long petals connected to their tarsal segments and to their legs. But my guy is absolutely covered in them. So, this dude, this male digger wasp was having a really good time partying with some flowers. So we've got this middle leg taken care of, and then we're going to be going back over to our hind leg. Do they have digging legs, and is there a name for those? So, they do. There is a name for digging legs, but they don't have them. So, digging legs are called fossorial legs. And you see digging legs on insects like mole crickets, where they've got all of those, they almost look finger-like, and they have the ability to kind of push soil out of the way with these like crazy-looking finger segments. But digger wasps don't have those. I'm going to flip them upside down. The hind legs are significantly longer than the front and the middle legs. And as I expected, well, let me go ahead and count just to make sure. I believe that our tarsal formula is going to be 554. It's possible that it's 555. So let's double check. 1, 2, 3. Nope, it is 555. All right, so we have 5. We also have 5 tarsal segments on our hind leg. So let me show you this guy really quick. The hind leg is significantly longer than the middle leg. So when we drop this guy down, it's going to be pretty long. So let's see. We've got our coxa taken care of. Our hind leg, our femur does get a little bit wider towards the center before it breaks off into the tibia. So right around there, nice and long, a little bit longer than this one. Now the tibia are really long. So let's see. like probably double the length of the middle leg, right? So we've got a nice long hind leg, and this hind leg is going to have, I was seeing it had like 2 rows of spines on the tibia. I'm going to put 1 row because I believe it's 1 on each kind of side of the leg. And then we've got 5 tarsal segments, and these are nice and long, and each one of them has spines on the end of all the tarsal segments. Ooh, does the root of fossil relate to digging? Because a fossil is something you dig up? I believe so. I believe fossorial and fossil are derived from very similar words. At least that's how I always remembered digging legs being fossorial. And we've got these 5 long segments here. So our front legs and our middle leg are about the same. You can see the hind leg is significantly longer, but hey, that's just how he wants to be. Now, there is a large space in between where the front leg comes out and then the middle leg and the hind leg. He's got this extra region in here. And there are a lot of wasps that have this space in here. Now, it looks like we're going to be able to scooch on back to the abdomen. But since Sue is here, we're chatting and stuff, I kind of want to, let's zoom in. I'm going to show you something. All right, so this is the tibial spine or spur. This is the guy on the end of the front tibia. Check this out. So it has this, I'm going to circle it here and then just draw it bigger. All right. It has this kind of arch at the base of it. And then it has a whole series of bristles. Let's see. We're going to draw the arch. And then comes our like this, and then it has these nice long bristles. I just think that that's such a cool part right there. It looks like it can move. That's what I was thinking. So it looks like it can move, which means that it is a spur. That's still something that I'm working on too. And so, yeah, a spine is sedentary, and a spur, I believe, has the ability to move. Yeah, my guess is that it's for cleaning, maybe for cleaning its antenna. Like a little comb for its hair. Or it might be, it honestly could also be for cleaning the side of his face. Yeah, so it's definitely for cleaning something. And I think that it's like the coolest part that we've seen on this guy so far. It makes me really happy. So, I believe it's for cleaning. I would think that it's for either the antenna or possibly... You see how this side of his face has these really long golden hairs here? There's a part of me that wonders if he has those for like cleaning, like little beard beard combs. Oh, so cute, so shiny. This guy makes me want to sing the Shiny song from, what's the Disney movie? Shiny. Moana. It reminds me of the crab who sings about everything shiny. That's what I want to know. Ooh, doesn't have hairy eyes. It does not have hairy eyeballs, unfortunately. It just has hair around kind of its cheek. It's Gina. Oh, yeah. So insect cheeks are considered Gina. So these guys right here, he's got kind of these Gina CD. We're checking out the abdomen, and I do love that these segments kind of overlap one another, so I want to zoom in just a little bit so we can see that. Plus, we're going to turn this specimen, we're going to look down that segment and see if there is, we're going to see if there's a parasitoid down there. I don't see a parasitoid down there, so it's possible that just when I was pinning it, when I picked up the abdomen, that maybe the abdomen normally kind of lays a little bit lower, and that when I picked it up to straighten it out, it might have done that. My camera likes to turn on me just a little bit. Silly camera. Alright, so when we are looking at abdominal segments, the tergites are the ones on the top, and the sternites are the ones on the bottom. And the way that I remember that is our sternum is right around here. So if we were walking around like an insect, your sternum would be towards the ground. And tergites and top both start with T. Now Spexabenus hasn't always been this glam. I was a drab little grub once. Aww. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that these guys are parasitoids on something. So they kill their host, and they I'm just not sure exactly what they feed on. I would have to look it up. But that information I'm sure is out there somewhere. It looks like we can see the top of our abdomen. So what I'm going to do is keep our wings kind of going up a little bit, and I'm going to I was really hoping to get this abdomen and not overlap the wings, but they're going to overlap a little bit. That's just going to have to be how it is. So our first abdominal segment, we already have this overall shape kind of figured out. I do want to come in, and we're not going to be doing the top and the bottom segments just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to count how many segments it has, and we're going to outline the number of segments. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. Oopsies, that's a dung beetle. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we have 7 abdominal segments, and they do kind of open up at the end here. So just really light, I'm going to kind of annotate where these segments end, and I'm just going to create one long line. So this is going to be 1. The second one is a little bit wider, 2. And then the rest of these are going to get narrower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Okay, so I have an idea of where these 7 segments and how wide each of them are going to be, but you can see that this angle starts to increase. And so these lines are just to help me make sure that the segments don't get too big or too small. Now the first one, that's going to be the easy one. We're starting here. We're coming up just around the edge. And then we're going to come back down. Now we're going to come back down to this central line we had originally sketched, like this. All right. And then once we get to this horizontal line, we're going to round it down and then back. So we're going to overlap it just a little bit, and then the bottom is going to come out from here. And our first segment is actually wider, a little bit more open, so I'm going to take it fairly low underneath where our line is. And that is going to be our first abdominal segment, A1. Now, A2, we know, comes out all the way out here. So we're going to take this line and go to where this is going to start. And instead of coming straight down like our sketch does, or like our rough, where our sketchy line is, we're going to angle it a little bit towards here. And what we're going to do is we're going to angle it in. And we're going to stop here at that lateral line. And then this is where we're going to arch kind of down. And we want it to go underneath this first one. All right, so that is going to be what we would call tergite 2. All right, the sternite is going to come from below, and you can see where this line touches our middle line. That's where we want it. And we're going to take this, and we're going to come out to where the line is, and then round it back out, back here. And that's how we're going to use these lines to make this shape. So for tergite 3, I'm going to take this line and I'm going to come out. I want to angle it back slightly. Let's see. Kind of like this. Hit that middle line and then keep going a little bit. You want to always go past that just a little bit, because then when you're sketching your sternite, the one on the bottom, you're going to go to where that line crosses over and you're going to take it down. And ideally, you don't want it to go too far past where your vertical line is. So you're going to take it, but don't let it go past that point here. And you can erase all of these little sketchy lines as you go. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3. We're going to go in for 4. Keep in mind, once we're getting further and further, the angle is going to get sharper and sharper. All right, so we're going to come here, come out here, and then we're going to come back in. We're going to hit that middle line and go a little bit past it. And then that middle line is where this is going to come out. All right, one more time. Go out, come in, go out, come back. All right, you see how that gets created? 6, let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. And then we'll notice that A7 isn't just rounded off. There's that little bit of an opening, and it's because this is a male, and the male, I guess, just wanted to show off his genitalia. I don't know. We're gonna go and take a look at that. So yes, we started sketching our abdomen just with these kind of straight horizontal and vertical lines, and we had that central arch here to help us make sure that we kept these angles all together. But that's going to be how we're going to be able to create this abdominal shape where it looks like all of the segments are kind of overlapping one another. Keep in mind the bottom ones are the sternites and these top ones are the tergites. All right, let's look at the very, very end. I want to look at it almost head on because I'm curious about what, yeah. All right, so from the end of our abdomen here, there is a little segment where we have these two little prongs coming out, and I am sure that those are part of the mating process, but I wouldn't know what exactly those pieces are called. From when we look at it from a lateral point of view, it just looks like kind of a bulbous segment with one point coming up. And it does seem to wrap around the, final tergite. So here we go. I'm going to take this open space here and give myself a nice rounded end coming out. And then this guy is going to be sharp and comes out and arches over. And because it's a male, it does not have a stinger, and it does not have the ability to sting. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that guy. Now, I had mentioned that because I have all the time in the world today, we should look at this guy from a couple of different viewpoints. I do want to turn this guy so we're looking at the entirety of that back and sketch it this way, I think. I don't think that, maybe that's not necessary. Let's see. Let's look at it head on. One of my favorites. Now, if we look at this guy head on, you got to give me one moment because I have to change the, I actually have to change I have to raise the head on my microscope because this guy is actually, if I try to put him on his, if I try to show him off at this angle, then his abdomen ends up touching the bottom, and so I need to kind of put him in a different dish where I can stand him up. So now my microscope is really tall. Here we go. Oh, right. Hymenoptera always have this nice braided look to their abdomens. Yes, they do. And I mean, some of them are more distinct than others. So like this guy, very, very distinct in that braiding. Some ants, because ants are hymenopteran too, some ants don't have it as much, but you still have the top and bottom segments that are kind of meeting in the middle. But sometimes they meet a little more evenly. But yes, are males and females both active all through the season, or are males only out in the fall like bumblebees? On this species, I am not sure. Look at how cute he is. All right, so we do, from this angle, you can see the compound eyes. You can see all three ocelli, and you can see its antenna. I wanted to sketch this from a front point of view, so here we go. I'm just going to do it up here in this spot. So many palps. Yeah, they've got labial and maxillary palps, and it's got this kind of like lapping mouth part. We're definitely going to be zooming in on it. So right here, I'm just going to give myself I want to give myself the overall head shape first. So nice and wide on the top, comes down and gets a little bit narrower. I'm going to have to draw it smaller, and I don't want to draw it smaller, but I want to have space for that mouth part, so. Just give myself this nice kind of rounded triangular shape, trying to get the overall shape of the head really nice and light on my paper before I keep going. That's going to be right about there. The compound eyes, you can give, don't make them come up from the top and just down. You want to round them out from the edges just a little bit. So they're going to come out, down and over. And I always just expand my eye just a little bit past the edge of my head, just so that I can, just so that the eyes look like they're kind of expanding. They're not a part of the head, right? They expand a little bit past. Just a little bit past. Alright, so we've got these nice big compound eyes. We do have these little itty bitty ocelli right here in the little triangle. 1, 2, 3. And straight across. Alrighty, let's see. I think I'm gonna fix something on the bottom here. Yeah. Alright, so we've got some compound eyes. I'm going to add the antennal sockets here and here, but I'm not going to add the antenna because I want to focus this sketch on the head shape and then the mouth parts. So, but I am going to come in here and crosshatch. It's going to be a little bit of a messy crosshatch, but that's okay. There's lots of ommatidia. Ommatidia is that word for all of those individual lenses. So let's see. Coming down here from the base of our eyes. Let's zoom in and check that out. Because I think that there is, I don't think that that's straight across. I think that there is some angles happening in there. Yeah, look how pretty. Oh my goodness. Alright, so when I'm sketching this guy, I'm going to come down. And then I am going to come pretty much straight across. That's where my gold is going to end. But then we have, I'm going to call that the labrum. This little dark piece that comes down below, right about here, that looks more like the upper lip. It's separated from the head just a little bit. It's a different color, right? Because all of these hairs are these really beautiful gold hairs, whereas that one's kind of dark. And now we're going to zoom down and check out that mouth part. He's so cool! Alright, so from this point of view, we can see this lapping mouth part here. I do believe that they almost have like what we might call a tongue that comes out from around here. So it has kind of the ability to stick it out to drink the nectar and kind of pull it back in like this type of movement. And that tongue is going to be kind of covered in microcedia, like little itty bitty micro hairs that will pick up the liquid and kind of soak it up so that they can push it in. Yes, these are palps. These ones that we are looking at here are what we consider maxillary palps. I would believe that this sheath right here that's guarding the tongue is an adaptation of our adapted maxillaries, so which is why you can see the maxillary palps coming off of them. They are 5 segmented. So let's see, coming out from here, Make the Terry disappear for a minute.
Coming out from here, you have these kind of two pieces, and this is like a sheath that's going to be protecting that tongue. And then there are also hairs on the inside of this guy. And you have these maxillary palps, that are 5 segmented. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on both sides.
And then if you look, if I was to shift the focus down, these guys that are a little bit shorter, from this angle they look 3 segmented, but when we were looking at them from a lateral point of view, you can see that they're 4 segmented. These are labial palps. The first segment is really long and it's going away from us, and what you're seeing are the 3 segments that are coming out from there, but that's okay. That's what we can sketch on ours. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maxillary palps and labial palps. Super cute. So that's our head-on view. We have a zoom in of the protibia's comb, protibial comb. We got that braided abdomen taken care of. We have, we didn't do much in the wing venation department of the wing, but I'm pretty happy with just leaving this wing here like this. I'm going to come back and just kind of add some veins to make it look like it, but we're not going to see a whole lot of wing venation from the lateral point of view anyway. Alrighty. I guess my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, is, did we get to see all of the parts that you wanted to see? Is there anywhere else that you would like to zoom in and to check out? We can manipulate this specimen however we would like. I guess we haven't even really looked at it from a dorsal point of view, so we can check it out from the top. Let me go ahead and move the head of my microscope down again. Can we look inside that one sticky out sternite? Yes, we can. As long as we are very careful. Alright, so I am not seeing much on the inside of it. I was really hoping that we were going to see something, living, or not living, but like another creature in there. Let me see if I change the angle that we're just a little bit. Maybe something like this. Maybe this will help. Nope, I need to get it. Ooh, this might work. So to me, this sternite just looks like the inside of the insect. Let's see. Looks kind of like that. Yeah, normally when there are those little two-winged parasites are called strepsipterans. And normally you can kind of see them sticking out, and I'm not seeing that in here. Normally strepsipterans are on vespids. So I'm not seeing a parasitoid on him. I really want to find one, though. That would be so cool. This is our specimen from a ventral point of view. That far eye looks really weird at this light with this lighting. Let's see if I shade it a little bit. That's a little better. That's weird looking. I'm really curious what our specimen got into, because he's covered in all of these like little petal looking guys, and I don't think these are part of his body. Even though some of them look like they're really connected to him. Maybe they are part of his body. I don't think so. I think that they're just part of the plant that he was walking on. I think that he was just messy. There's one right here on the bottom of his abdomen, too. Not sure exactly what those are. So if we were to look at his wings from the top, there are some things I can talk about with his wings. Because if we wanted to, we could look at some wing venation. So, let's see. We'll look at this top wing up here. We'll zoom in just a little bit, see if the microscope will darken it for a little bit. There we go. Perfect. So, right around here, this will help you with some of your wing venation. This vein right here along the top, that's the costa, that really thick one. So this cell right here is what we call the costal cell, C-O-S-T-A-L. And these three would be the subcostal cells. So this wasp has 3 subcostal cells. When we're adding wasps to family, regularly we're counting if they have 2 or 3 subcostal cells. Does he have golden CD on his wings too? Let's go look. Don't orchids have weird pollen thingies that can attach to pollinators? Ooh. I'm not sure, but that sounds awesome. So it does appear that there are some hairs on the wings. The question is, are they golden? I think that the hairs on the wings are black. Oh, look, you can see the hamuli. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to show you something really cool. All right, so if we zoom up, this is the top wing, all right? But if we zoom down, we can zoom and look through the front wing and look at the hind wing. Now, you see this row of what looks like little loops, little hooks? This is really cool. I wonder if I can... Oh, man. All right, so essentially, you are looking at the hind wing. I'm going to give us a sketch really quick just to show you what I'm talking about. So, and this is not going to be realistic to the shape of the wings either, but let's just say that this box is the thorax, and then you have the front wings up here, and then you have the hind wings. The hind wings are generally, and these guys just going to be a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to say, all right, here's the hind wings. Now, in between the front and the hind wings, you have these little hooks. And it goes all the way down, and those are called hamuli, spelled like this. And these are specifically only found in Hymenopteran, all right? And I don't even know if they're found in ants. They might just be found in bees and wasps. But these are little hooks in between the front and the hind wings so that when the bees and the wasps, they're flying, their front and hind wings are actually connected by these little hooks called hamuli. Now, when it looks like when the front wing opens, it's going to grab those hamuli as they go, and that's how the hind wing opens too. Because I'd never seen the hamuli when the wings were closed, just when the wings were open. So this is a really nifty thing to see because the hamuli are on the outside of the hind wing. So they're on the hind wing. And now I'm trying to think about where do they grab it on the front wing? So let's see. Yeah, so this vein... All right, so if we were to zoom out just so that you can see all of the veins and I can talk to you about it. Oh, come on, Mr. Friend. He says, it's too bright. I made it really dark. All right, so we've got the front wing here, and the bottom of the front wing has this really thick vein right here. So when the front wing opens up, those hamuli, or those hooks, grab onto this bottom vein, and they hold on, and then that's how the front wing and the hind wings connect. Yeah, so the hind wings hook together and move as one. Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes people will say, but bees and wasps, they only have two wings, because when they watch them fly, they're only seeing those two wings. It's just that they're really well connected. All right, so this is what my sketch looks like. Doop, 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 doop. I'm pretty happy with him. We did measure him in the beginning. He came out to about 2.71 centimeters. The front of the head to the end of the thorax was 1.48, and then from the thorax, the length of the abdomen is about 1.23 centimeters. So it came out to 2.71. If I wanted, I could take my specimen and put him here. Oh, he's not good enough there. I can do it this way. Haha. All right, so this is what my sketch looks like in its entirety. I hope that you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today. I'm sorry that I was muted for the entire first hour. There's a part of me that wants to just kind of delete that first hour, but also that makes me kind of sad because there were a lot of cool microscope images too, so maybe I should just leave it? Not sure yet. Alright, we've been going at this for almost 2 hours though, so I think I'm just going to leave it, and maybe I'll drop a comment on the video to say, hey, if you want audio, jump an hour in. Alright. Have any other questions? Alright, thank you ladies and gentlemen so much for hanging out with me today. I teach on a platform called OutSchool where I have students ages 5 to 8 and 9 to 12, where we talk about different types of insects every week. We do weekly insect studies where I use mostly markers, and we talk about the life histories and we sketch them together. And then I do a scientific illustration class that's very similar to this, except that it is condensed into 45 minutes rather than an hour and a half to 2 hours like these live streams are. And we really just focus on getting the basics of the insect sketched out. These live streams tend to be a lot more detailed. I absolutely love it. This is your reminder to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like. Right here is where you can donate to Insectopia. I love you guys. Really, really super appreciate it. And this is my email address, trisha@theinsectopia.com. So if you ever have any questions about bugs that you see in your backyard, or you just want to share a cool bug thing or a bug fact that you notice, honestly, I just love hearing from you. If you would like to share your sketch with me, you can go ahead and share your sketch with me here. And I'm probably going to be I'm really hoping to get back on the Instagram bandwagon. I actually just submitted some of my macro photography to a photography contest, so I'm going to be seeing about those in the next couple of weeks, so that'll be really cool. And I'm hoping to start taking more pictures for Instagram, but you know, I've got a handful of projects happening, so we'll see about that. Maybe just lead it even if we can't hear your commentary. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, very good. I will go ahead and leave it just so that people can follow along with the sketch and watch as I do it. I think that that's helpful even without audio, so you're right. And I will definitely keep you updated on the photo contest. I think it'll be cool, but I've never entered my pictures into a photo contest, so I'm mostly really excited about hearing what the judges have to say. They pay like real photography judges to judge this competition, and then they like fill out little surveys and tell you about your pictures, and so that's what I'm really excited about. I'm excited to see what they say about my images. And I entered 2 in macro photography, and I entered 2 in black and white, because I took 2 of my macro pictures and I switched them over to black and white and entered them, because why not? Sounded like a plan to me. Alright, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. I will be back on Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern, or next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and